YouTube? It's Louis here. Hope you're all well. We're looking at Bitcoin today on the daily time frame. One thing that is popping out to me is that we haven't yet formed this bullish cross with the 20 and the 55 daily EMA. You might use the 50. I just prefer to use the 55. There are some other EMAs as well, like the 12 EMA. I like to look at that sometimes on the daily and the weekly time frame. You might be using either the 8 EMA or the 9 or the 10 EMA. Just having the time in the market, I've just realized that I prefer to have these EMAs. There's nothing wrong with using the other ones, but I prefer the touches on these. Anyway, we haven't formed the bullish cross yet. Let me just actually double check if the 50 has formed the bullish cross. No. Okay, well, actually, yes, the 50 and the 20 has formed the bullish cross. Okay, so the 55, I'm just waiting for that final confirmation. And so if we do get that bullish cross, it means that we should see some further upside. What is going to happen right now is it looks like we're coming into this 0618 20.1k. This is a support. You can see here was once a resistance here previously. Resistance. You had some sort of fake out because of the 55. You went a little bit above it to hit the 55. And then, of course, you can see here flip using it as resistance with that wick. And so over here, we reclaimed it as support. And so essentially, because it was tested as support here once, it should be again for the second attempt. And so that's why we want to see these EMAs hold. That would make sense if we do find support here. If we do not find support on these EMAs and the bullish cross doesn't form, then of course it means that this upside here was a fake out. And so that essentially means that the sign that it's giving, if we were to ever close below these EMAs like this and close below this 19.6k, then we're going to head back to 18.6k. That's just the reality, here on the channel. I just tell you as it is, no emotion. And so that is of course the bearish scenario. If we fail to hold this, and the 2017 high at 19.6k, you're coming back down to 18.6k. This would essentially mean Bitcoin wants to break this 18.6k low and lose 17k and head down to this 14 and 16k target, the 1618 haven't met yet. That is meant to happen if you close below this. We know we're not just solely relying on the fibs. If we were, then we would have been waiting for that for such a long time. But we know it's all about this 18.6k low. So if you're holding this, chances are you're going to reclaim 19.6k. And so that's what we've seen. So now we need to confirm it as support over here and then actually get above this gold box. We do not want this scenario down here, which could get ugly like this. We don't want that scenario. How do we avoid that scenario? Well, we need to hold 19.6k. Let me just get rid of this drawing over here. Yeah. So we need to, if we're even failing to hold this as support, that's fine, as long as we find support on the 2017 high and quickly bounce above that. Again, because the 0618 at 20.18k has been held as support right there, then it should hold again. But I'm just making you aware that if you do actually close a daily candle below it, or you can simply just wait. Let me give you this as a precise level, 20,000, because it's a nice psychological level. If we're closing a daily candle below 20,000, we're heading towards 19.6k, the 2017 high. Now, this is still a very key support. We haven't confirmed it as of yet, but it's amazing that we bounced out of this green demand zone. So basically we've fallen into this demand zone. We went into some sort of supply area. Every time we come into this zone over here, we dumped, here dumped, eventually dumped, and tapped it again here and dumped. So that's our supply zone. Every time we go into there should be some sort of rejection. And the same with the bottom down here. Every time we hit the bottom, there's some sort of rejection upwards. So now what we need to see going forward, if we want to stop coming into this green zone, we need to see the outside of it held. So what would be an amazing signal for that is this bullish cross. But again, with my EMAs, it hasn't formed just yet. Let's not get the party started, although we did see it with the 50 EMA. Let's wait for the 55 and the 20 to do it. The 55 is the orange, the 20 is the purple. And so, yeah, as long as they're not formed a bullish cross, it's basically a signal this wants to continue lower and lose the low. So it's really important that this bullish cross forms, or simply you find support now anywhere between here. And then we do actually break these highs. We need to see a close above this gold box to start this wave up all the way till this 25k high. Obviously, there's going to be a very key resistance here as well, where we got this rejection over here. This was essentially the descending resistance of the descending triangle pattern, which actually takes us to 10k only if 18.6k was lost. This green level over here, we didn't see 18.6k lost, and so we shouldn't believe that we're going lower. We've always prepared on the channel, but I was constantly telling you since June, so for 4 months now, I don't even know how many months now, but let me just get rid of all of this. I'll put the fibs back on. Yeah, we've been saying that as long as we're above 18.6k, Bitcoin is bullish, and that's why we've seen coins like, if you've been on the channel, like Quant, XRP, going up. Why? Because as long as Bitcoin's bullish, then the alts are free to go up as well. Some are lagged, and those are the ones that are you can still make gains on. If some of your cryptos have flown up in recent times, and you've seen other of your cryptos, or you've just noticed other cryptos that haven't moved since the bottom, that could be a chance for you to move money around. Of course, as long as Bitcoin's above 18.6k, that's good to do so. If we ever lose 18.6, I'll tell you so. I'll tell you the signs. Of course, if we're not holding this over here, or 19.6k, we are coming back down to 18.6k. When I say if it's not holding, I mean daily closes, because this is the daily time frame. So now the clocks went backwards, I believe. So the daily, for me, I live in the UK, so GMT for me, the daily close was always at 1 a.m. and now the clocks have gone back, so the daily close is at midnight. So every time when midnight, just check what it is for you. Midnight GMT for me, whatever it is for you. If we're seeing a daily close below 20k, that's a signal essentially that it wants to lose the 18.6k low and the 17.6k low. It basically means that it wants to go lower, but that we know that there's more to it than just the EMAs as an EMA signal. We know about the key supports, the higher lows, the structure that the market needs to hold. We need to hold above 18.6k. So although if we lose these EMAs, as I've showed you multiple times over here as well, let me just turn on the 12 EMA here. So when you're under these EMAs, you're using them as a resistance. Essentially, if I turn the chart upside down, you can see you're holding it as support to continue up. If I just continue, go back and flip the chart upside down, you're just holding it as resistance. It's like a ceiling. If I flip the chart, it's like a floor. So it's literally the same thing. Support and resistance is the same thing. The chart is just flipped. So if I flipped it, you are in an uptrend, essentially. You're going up, making higher highs and higher lows. Here's your higher low, higher high, higher low. And you're holding these EMAs. As long as you're above all these EMAs over here, blue, purple, orange, and white, you're going up. But if I flip the chart, it just means you're going down. So why are we not going down from here? So from here, we got rejected. We should go lower than that. So that is specifically why I told you guys 18.6k. You've created a higher low here, which is not what should have happened. So this is why Bitcoin is bullish. And if you go to the charts, check from 29th of June, check what Quant was doing, check what these alts that already went higher. Check since the 18th of June what they were doing, and since this 30th of June higher low. Do that in your own time. But here we got above the EMAs and fell below. That's another signal. There's so many signals here, especially this where we lost all the EMAs, but we just couldn't go below 18.6k. So even though we may potentially, as we've not formed this bullish EMA yet, a bullish cross yet, it's not a bullish signal, guys. It's basically meaning that this is a fake out as long as that's not happened yet. So that means that we should see price closing below 20k, and that means we should be seeing 16, 14, and 10k. But we know that as long as we're above 18.6k, none of this is going to happen. So although that's a signal, all of this negative stuff should happen if we're closing below this. Again, as long as we're above 18.6k, that's not going to allow. 18.6k is essentially not allowing this bearish scenario to happen. So yeah, you can fall below this, but yeah, you've still got this support here, 19k psychological level and 18.6k. There's a lot of supports here, 20k, 19.6k, 19k, and 18.6k. These are all supports that are keeping you bullish. If you lose one, you're just going to bounce off the next one below you. If you lose that one, you're just going to bounce off the next one below you. So that's what's keeping you bullish, and so that's what we need to see going forward. Personally, I would like to actually come back down to 19.6k. I know you would be losing this, but I think because it's such a strong support, where we actually haven't confirmed it as support yet, that's why we need to come back down to it. We were using it as resistance. We just broke out. We haven't tested it. You don't have to. You can find support on the EMAs, and that's why we also pair our TA with, we pair it all together. We're not just solely relying on just support. We're not just solely relying on fib levels or just EMAs. We're tying it all together. So yeah, I would like to see a daily close above 20k for the continuation upwards to break above this high of 21k. So again, daily close above 20k is bullish. That means we should see further upside. If you're closing below 20k on the daily time frame, it essentially means that you're going to try and take out the low, but we don't believe that's going to happen. I think that we'll find support either on 19.6k. Again, if you do lose that, then 18.6k is what's going to hold you up. If we ever do lose this, I'll say, yeah, guys, we're going to 16k, 14k, and 10k. But none of that is to be seen at the moment. We've been saying since the 30th of June, Bitcoin's bullish. And so, yeah, let Bitcoin continue to be bullish and let's see these higher highs. We just need to see this bullish cross now. Thank you, guys. Let's get this video to over 100 likes. Let's get loads of comments on the videos. Please subscribe. We're trying to hit 5k subscribers, as well as following me over my Twitter, Louis_crypto. Again, there's 50% off my course until the end of the year. So, yeah, if you want that, go over to my Twitter. I also do one-to-one mentorship if you're also interested. Thank you, guys.